Hey, Mr. Clash here, and today we're going to have a look at a Town Hall 10 Dragon 3-star attack. It's over in 2.5 minutes, and this is the base. And first thing that lets you know that it is probably an ideal base to hit by dragons is that all of these air defenses are on one side of the base, and they can be queen walked. So if you see that, Town Hall 9 too, if you're a Town Hall 9 and you see this kind of configuration, it is one option that should probably pop through your head, the possibility of queen walking a base, taking out the air defenses and then dragoning the rest of the base. So obviously Town Hall 9, Town Hall 10 has the upgraded dragons on top of Town Hall 9, so do take this into consideration, but also Town Hall 10 has more weapons shooting at those upgraded dragons. So just think of that as well, that this is why this can work on Town Hall 9. Of course, you kind of need spells and pathing to make it all happen. So just have a look at this base at the moment. We'll just talk about it. The plan, obviously, is pretty simple plan. Queen walk the air defenses. Get some minions on these little things here. Queen, even up there. Once that goes down, the queen's got no reason to path that way. She will path this way. You can see that these air defenses are in range of the outside, so she can just take out the trash, boom, 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 take out the trash, take out the air defenses as she goes. Now, my personal rule of thumb for a queen walk is 1 minute. That's my personal rule of thumb. Queen walk for a minute, and then the rest of the attack should begin. You can queen walk for less, but if you really start queen walking for more and more and more, that's when you can really get run out of time. So in this case, look, unless clanmates have a base like this that you can practice on, you'll have to make similar sorts of bases to practice on to do your queen walk dragon attacks, or just try and find them in village raiding, or just try and do a queen walk dragon attack on a normal base just to get familiar with walking the queen for a minute and then deploying dragons and see how that goes as a bit of a strategy for you. So anyway, it's a pretty simple strategy. You've got 4 rage, a haste, a heal, and a poison for the clan castle, or whatever you might need the poison for. Might be air skellies to help wipe them out a little bit quicker. Anyway, without further ado, let's just get into the attack. We'll watch it a couple of times just to see how it all goes. So get the minions down first. You really need to get the minions clearing the trash. Now, you'll notice the way that the minions were deployed. He's brought a good number in. He didn't just drop them all. Dropped a minion, and when it was pretty obvious that there was no red air mine, air bomb coming up, then he dropped the other minion down. What you don't want to do is drop all your minions, and then boom, they're all taken out by red air mine, air bomb. So you really don't want that to happen. So you can see here, only needed those to help create the funnel, just to help, not really a funnel, but really just get the direction that she's going to walk. And you can see that she's out of range of that Inferno, so that's no problem. And she'll just keep walking this. Like I said, about a minute is my personal thing on the queen walk, having the queen walk for about a minute. If she starts to go longer than that, then you really start to need to pay more attention to her as well, as she starts getting into ever increasing danger. And the more attention you pay to her, the less you can pay for other things. So you can see the balloon pathing now. With that thing gone, the balloon pathing there from the mortar is very good for trying to get onto the Inferno Tower, which you just saw. So get a little bit of a dragon up at the top side there with the king to help funnel that part, and that will keep the dragons inside of the base instead of them all grouping up and then going for a wander on the outside of the base. Now you can see the poison was dropped to help kill the clan castle that was coming for the queen. A golem and a balloon, so it took out the balloon. The golem wasn't really going to be an issue for the queen, but it's gone off chasing the king, and it will now come over to the queen when the time is right. So rage, haste, rage, heal, and now the dragons are all ready to take on the rest of the base. Got a bit of a haste spell down. Look, the haste isn't doing much good at the moment. Obviously, nothing has gone through it, and it's a little bit out of range of everything else. Like I said, we're going to have a look at this attack again so you can see how it went. Some of the pathing was optimal, obviously, the way the dragons just split then, one on each arch tower, so that was kind of pretty good. Black bombs, so on and so forth. But the base builder, really up in the air about where they want to do their black bombs and their red air bombs. Because if you're going to put all your eggs in one basket, which is putting all the air defences on one side of the base, then are you going to just rely on those air defences shooting each other? Or are you going to try and protect the air defences with some, when I say shooting each other, I mean shooting over the top of each other? Or do you want to protect them with some bombs and things like that? Now, obviously, the Infernos are in range of those air defences, so that is a consideration, why they could be protected a little bit. But if you've got red air bombs there to make things weak, and then the Infernos just to finish them off, then there's no threat of those sorts of things over the other side where the dragons are going to be. But as I said, as the base designer, that's a bit up in the air about where they're all going to be. So in this attack, air defences, one side of the base lets you know a prime base to queen walk. So when you see that sort of thing, when you're looking through the bases to attack, you scroll through, you see all the 4 air defences. One of the first things that should pop into your attack is queen walk dragons. That's not to say you will do that, but in terms of looking at a base and making those little quick instinctive decisions about what kind of attacks could be done when all the air defences are on one side like this, queen walk dragons. Like I said, it does apply to Town Hall 9 as well. So the dragons have come in. The queen was walking for roughly about a minute. So that's what I do like to see. Roughly about a 1 minute queen walk. Like I said, if you start taking it too much longer, she didn't need to keep on going longer. She only needed to take out those couple of air defences, and then she will gradually get around to the rest anyway. So that's why it didn't need to be any longer than a minute. And the way that the dragons were going to path, you can see that big gap. She'd already taken the stuff out on the bottom side, so the dragons had no interest in coming down, so they were always going to path the way that they did. So that's another consideration. When you're drawing your maps or drawing your plan of attacks, I just want to show you something that a little something that you can help do, possibly in your mind, but that's why I recommend using things like UDoodle or Sketch or something like that, or even at the bare minimum, just doing a screen cap. Get the screen cap up on the computer and then draw on it with a little program like Epic Pen or something like that. I want to start this back up again, and I want to show you a little thing to take in mind when you're doing your screen caps and your planning. Okay, so as you're planning out, and you might be thinking to yourself, mentally thinking, I'll get the queen here and I'll walk her through there. She should take that out. Yeah, that's pretty good. Right, apart from just mentally thinking that's what she's going to do, actually mark it off, either with a little cross like that, or just a line through it. So the minions will take that, minions will take that, and the queen's there, the queen will take that, that'll go down, that'll go down. So you just start marking off the things that the queen will get. So they're actually marked off on your attack plan that you're doing a sketch or a UDoodle on. So that's it. You can see that the queen's getting all of this stuff. So it's like, well, that's pretty good then. Now that you've marked all those things off, and you could scribble on the screen if you wanted to. You could just like, oh, she's got all that, and that's all good. You could scribble that, but that starts to look a little bit messy and a little bit hard to get. So if you just mark it off like that, you don't have to make them all crosses, but you can if you want to. If you need to, for yourself, make all these crosses, then make them all crosses. Either way, it signifies which part of the attack is going to get rid of which bits of trash and weapons and things like that. So you can see here, by doing it this way, I know now that the first phase, which is the queen, is going to be taking care of this part of the attack. So that gives me a better visual idea of what the dragons will do. Of course, you know from the little pathing trick about perpendicular lines, it's not really in the middle, but you can see that the balloons then will path from the mortar to the expo. So that's going to be a wonderful thing as well for the attack. So the balloons can come on there and no dragons to path it. So then you can start looking at, well, the dragons go to the nearest thing, that'll be down. So the dragons will go from that, they'll path there, they'll go this way. The balloons will take out this, so that'll be gone as well. The balloons will take out that. So you can really start to add on to your pathing. The king will take that and he'll path down that way. So the king the king will take out these sorts of things. So as you're going through your plan, these are parts of the things that you're doing in your mind. The dragon's there, he'll path over this way, that'll take that out. Then they'll start pathing around here and here and here. They'll start pathing that way. Right, so you can just see how I've just drawn those little lines like that. Then that dragon's that path over that way to that dragon. Some of these will come through here. Well, there's a big mass there, they'll path this way and that way. So you've seen that, how I've just shown this is what the king's going to take out, that's what the dragon's taking out. So if you do that as part of your plan, that's not to say that's the final plan, but in coming up with part of your plan, if that's what you do, then that assists you in seeing what's available. And so we'll just run through this at speed just so that I can show how that kind of works. That's not to say when you're doing your plan, you'll just say king here, queen there, dragons at the other area, but by marking off the things that each part of the attack is likely going to get, it gives you a better idea of the leftover pathing. So you can see the queen part is doing exactly like I marked off, so that's no problem there. The balloons will do exactly that, and then the dragons and the king will go down. He'll get rid of all the stuff on the right hand side. The dragons will path exactly like drawn in. They go to the nearest thing, and then they'll slowly start making their way through one area, through to another, through to another, through to another. So you can see how that pathing of the dragons was kind of anticipated also, just by having the little lines, and the dragon will go next, and the dragon will go next, and you visually crossed off the things that are destroyed, so you don't have to remember that they've been destroyed. You visually cross them off in part of your planning. While you're planning and looking, how will the troops do this? What troops will do that? Oh yeah, that one will go there, then I can do this. So just an idea, something else to add to your planning, whether you're a Town Hall 9 or not. Just try that little cross-off method when you're doing the plan. That's not to say that's the final sketch sort of thing, but just to give you an idea of how your pathing will go. So having said that, we now are going to move on to the question of the day. Okay, so question of the day, Clash of Clans question. Trying to save this up for a different Town Hall 10 attack, but I'm just going to use it on this one. Okay, so you might not know that a lot of the miners in the Town Hall 10 miners, they actually have the clapping village girls as their girlfriend. Okay, so what did the miner say to his clapping village girlfriend? He said, I dig you. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Do leave the video a thumb up. Do let me know what you thought of the attack. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next video.